Hello everyone, Schooner007 here bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Today's game we have the 2-0 New York Mets taking on the 0-2 Florida Marlins here at Dolphin Stadium. Here is the starting lineup for the New York Mets. Leading off, the shortstop, Jose Reyes. Batting second, the second baseman, Luis Castillo. Batting third, the third baseman, David Wright. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the center fielder, Carlos Beltran. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Carlos Delago. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Angel Pagan. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Ryan Church. Batting eighth, the catcher, Brian Schneider. And on the mound batting ninth, the pitcher, Oliver Perez. And on the mound for the Florida Marlins is Andrew Miller. 6 wins, 10 losses, 5.87 ERA. Pitched 107.1 innings, allowed 120 hits, 89 strikeouts, 52 walks, and in this replay so far, he's only pitched 2/3 of an inning and struck out 2 players. Dolphin Stadium adds a +4 to strikeouts, nothing to walks, and nothing to home runs. And with that, Andrew is done his opening tosses, and we are underway. 1-4, we start off with a range play at Dolphin Stadium. 5-2, and that is a fly ball to Ross. Ross's range is on a 1-3. That is a 3, and he is successful. And makes that play all the way back there by the warning track. 1 out. That's going to bring up Luis Castillo, who's batting a 125 average. Here's the pitch. 2-3 range play. 5-3, that is to the shortstop. Ramirez's range is on a 1-3. That is a 3, and that is out number 2. Had to go all the way back to the grass there, makes the range play, tosses it over to Jacobs for out number 2. David Wright, batting a 444 average. Here's the pitch. 6-6. Strikeout result 9. That's a 12. That's a 9, and he struck him out. So, Florida, 3 up, 3 down for the Marlins. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Mets. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Hanley, Dan, and Mike due up for the Marlins. Leading off, and here is the starting lineup for the Florida Marlins. Leading off, the shortstop, Hanley Ramirez. Batting second, the second baseman, Dan Uggla. Batting third, the first baseman, Mike Jacobs. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the left fielder, Josh Willingham. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Jorge Cantu. Batting sixth, the center fielder, Cody Ross. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Brett Carroll. Batting eighth, the catcher, Paul Hoover. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Andrew Miller. And on the mound for the New York Mets, it is Oliver Perez. Perez had 10 wins, 7 losses, 4.22 ERA, pitched 194 innings, allowed 167 hits, 180 strikeouts, and 101 walks. And Perez has a special K attached to him. We'll explain more about that as the inning goes on here. But Oliver's done with his opening tosses. Haley Ramirez batting a .500 average. Here's the pitch. 6-5. That is a strikeout. That is a 1. And that's an 18 because we add 4. And he struck him out. Dan Uggla comes up, batting a .250 average. Here's the pitch. 4-5. That's a blank. Is it higher than it is? It is higher than a 3. If he rolled a 1 to a 3, that would have been a strikeout immediately. 1-4. That is a fly out there to Church for out number 2. Mike Jacobs now takes his stance in the box. Batting a .250 average. Here's the pitch. 2-5. That's a blank. That's a 3, and that's a strikeout. And Florida 3 up, 3 down. No run, nothing across the board for the Marlins. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1, the score is tied at 0. Due up for the Mets. It is Beltrán, Carlos, and Angel. All right, here is the pitch to Beltrán. Beltrán batting a .333 average. 4-3. That's a walk. 7. Walked him on a 12 or less. All right, Beltrán on base. That's going to bring up Carlos Dialgo, batting a .250 average. Strategy rolls an 11. Infield going to double play depth. Here's the pitch. 2-2. That's a walk plus. We're going to add 10. That's a 13. We have a 20. Does not walk him. 6-2. That is to the shortstop, Ramirez. Ramirez over to Uga. Over to Dan. That is a 5 on a G6. That is not a double play. So Beltrán is going to be thrown out. No, he's forced out at second. And Carlos takes first on a fielder's choice. So fielder's choice there. Strategy roll is a 4. Infield at double play depth still. Angel Pagan's up a 143 average. Here's the pitch. 6-6. Strikeout result 18. That's a 7, and he struck him out. All right, Carlos right now is on first. Infield going back to normal depth. Strategy roll is a 7. Ryan Church steps up into the box. A 375 average. Here's the pitch. 5-6. That is a blank. We go to Church's card. 2-5. And that's a single. And Carlos has a 3 on a 2-6 hit to first. And Carlos will advance to third. So he gets 2 bases on that. And the Mets now have runners on the corners. Strategy roll is a 10. Infield staying where they are. The infield staying normal. Here's the pitch to Brian Schneider, batting a .429 average. 2-3. Range play. We go to Schneider. 2-4. That is to Jacobs. Jacobs ranges on a 1-2. That is a 4. That is out of his range. That is a single. Carlos is going to get the go-ahead to come around and score, and Church gets the go-ahead to go to third. Runners once again on the corners. The Mets strike. They're going to bring the infield in for Oliver Perez. The pitcher batting his strategy rolls an 8. 2-6. Error on a possible throw. Oliver responds with a 4-4. And that was a fly ball out there to right field. To Carroll, makes the out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Mets. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Josh, Jorge, and Cody due up for the Marlins. Josh Willingham batting a .250 average. Here's the pitch. 4-1, possible error on a ground ball. That's a 14. That is outside of the range of a special K. 2-5. That's a double out there to Church. That is a ground ball error. Church's error rating is on a 1 to 5. That's a 2. And that is a 2-base error. And that is an inside the park home run for Willingham, tying the game up at 1. All right, Josh Cantu up, batting a 125 average. Here's the pitch. 1-6, possible error on a throw. 4-5, and that is a ground ball to Reyes. Error is on a 1 to 7. That is a 2. That's a throwing error. And that is a 1-base error. So Jorge making that play there. And that is a safe error by the shortstop. So Cody Ross comes up, batting a .500 average. Strategy roll is a 9. Infield going to double play depth. Here's the pitch. 2-6. Strikeout plus. We had 10. We had 14 actually. 10 plus the 4 for the rating for the park. 23. That's a 6. And he struck him out. Brett Carroll now up. Infield still at double play depth. Carroll, first time up at bat. Strategy rolls a 19. Here's the pitch. 2-4. Hit by pitch. We had a +5. That is a 5. That's a 17. Out of range. That's an 8. Out of range of the special K. 5-2. There's a fly ball out there to Beltran. For out number 2. Beltran waving, saying, "I got it." And it just goes plop right into his glove. Paul Hoover now steps up into the batter's box. The catcher. Runner still on first. 2-4. That is a hit by the pitch. 19. Does not do it. That is a 10. That is outside of the range of the special K. 1-3. That is a single pass Reyes. And Jorge gets the hold sign. In order for him to advance to third, it would have to be a 5 or a 6. He has a 2, so he gets the hold. Runners on first and second. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Andrew Miller. Strategy rolls a 12. Holding off on Strat. 3-5. Possible error. That's a 17. That's outside of the range of a 1 to 4 for a special K. 5-2. That's a fly out there to Beltran. Beltran's error rating is on a 1 to 5. That is a 5. And Andrew is going to reach base on an error. As a 1-base error. He drops the ball. And that loads the bases as we go to the top of the order. And Jorge and Paul get the hold sign. As we go to the top of the order to Ramirez, batting 0 for 1, struck out his last time up at bat. 1 on the strategy die. 5-6, that is a walk plus. We at 10, that's a 26 for him. 17, and they walk him. And that is going to walk Jorge back home. Bases are still loaded. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Dan Uggla comes up. Strategy rolls a 16. Holding off on Strat. Here's the pitch. 3-5. Possible error. That's a 12. That's outside of the range of a special K. 4-6. That is a single pass. Reyes. No error there. Reyes' error rating is on a 1 to 7. 14 for the error. No. And Florida scores another, and Paul comes in to score, making this now a 2-run game in favor of Florida. All right, Mike Jacobs, 0 for 1, struck out his last time up. Strategy rolls a 4, holding off on Strat. Here's the pitch. 5-2, range play. We go to Dolphin Stadium for this one. And that is a 4-6. That is a double star 2. By the way, that is a 13. That is outside of the range of a special K. To Beltran. Beltran's rating is at a 1 to 4. That is a 4. And Beltran successfully makes the catch for that. And Oliver only getting credited with the 1 run on that. So at the end of that half of the inning, it is 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors for the Marlins. After 2, it is Mets 1, Florida 3. We go to the top of the third. It is Jose, Lewis, and David due up for the Mets. Here's the pitch. 3-6. Strikeout plus, that's a 2. We had 14. That's a 21. And they struck him out. We go to the top of the order. It's 0 for... Jose is batting 0 for 1, and they struck him out. Luis Castillo batting 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 2-5. That is a walk result. 18. Lewis has a 14, out of range. 4-2, and that is a ground out to the second base. Uggla takes that, tosses it over to Jacobs, out number 2. David Wright, 0 for 1, struck out his last time up at bat. 5-6, that's a blank. 6-4. And that is a ground ball out there to the shortstop Ramirez for out number 3. Ramirez takes it, tosses over to the first baseman. Nothing across the board for the Mets. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Josh, Jorge, and Cody due up for the Marlins. Josh Williams, 1 for 1, doubled his last time up at bat. 6-6. Home run chance on a 1 to 15. That's a 1. That's a 5. And Josh knocks one out of here into the upper decks. Josh Williams wings it down to the left field side, going to the pole. It's past the pole and into the upper decks. That ball is out of here, and a solo home run for Josh Willingham. That's going to bring up Jorge Cantu, 0 for 1 with a run scored. Here's the pitch. 6-3, blank. That's an 8 outside of the range of a special K, 1-2. That is a double star 5, and that is a fly ball out there to Pagan for out number 1. Cody Ross, 0 for 1, struck out his last time up at bat. Here's the pitch. 3-2, home run, and Cody knocks one out of the park. Kaboom! That ball is going back to the wall, and it is out of here. Cody Ross with a solo home run. And that is another solo home run, this time by Cody Ross, putting the Marlins up 5-1. And 1 out. We're still here in the 3rd inning. And that is going to bring up Brett Carroll, batting 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 4-3. That's a blank. On a 4. Out of the special K range just by 1. 2-3. That is a double star 4. That's a ground ball over to right. Right takes that, throws it over to the first across the horn for out number 2. That's going to bring up Paul Hoover. 1 for 1. Has a run scored in this game. 2-1. That's a walk result. Paul has a 3, and the 5 is just out of range. 15, out of the range of the special K, 3-2, and that's a ground ball over to the shortstop, Reyes, for out number 3. The end of 3. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. It is Marlins 5, Mets 1 after 3. We go to the top of the 4th. It is Beltrade, Carlos, and Angel due up for the Mets. Carlos Beltrade walked his last time up at bat. 6-6, strikeout result. That's a 12. We had 4. That makes it a 12. That's an 11. And they struck him out. Carlos Diago up 0 for 1, run with a run scored. Here's the pitch. 3-6, strikeout plus. We add 14. That's a 24. That's a 20 on the D20. And he struck him out. And next up is Angel Pagan, 0 for 1, struck out. 2-6, possible error on a throw. Here's the pitch. 5-4, that is a fly ball out there to Carroll. Double star 6, that goes to Carroll. No errors, nothing across the board. The Marlins, Andrew Miller retires them in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is Andrew, Hanley, and Dan due up for the Marlins. Andrew Miller, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 4-4. That's a blank. 14, outside of the range of the special K, 4-1. That is a ground ball to the shortstop. To Reyes. Reyes taking that one, throws it over to Delgado for out number 1. We go to the top of the order. Ramirez, 0 for 1 with a walk, a strikeout, and an RBI. 6-5, strikeout. 18, that's a 17, and he struck him out. Dan Uggla comes up, 1 for 2, RBI in this game. Here's the pitch. 1-2, that's a walk. 13, that's a 13, and they walk Dan. All right, after that, they're going to go to the mound, and they're going to talk to Oliver for a quick second. They're going to have a conference on the mound. Talk to him a little bit about strategy here. Here comes Mike Jacobs, 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Strategy rolls a 15, infield coming to double play, infield at normal depth. Strategy rolls a 15, Marlins hold off. 6-5 blank. 6-3, and that's a 19. 19's outside of the range of the 1-4 for the special K. That's a single. Dan now on second on a 3-6 will advance to third, and that he does. So Florida with runners on the corner. That's going to bring up Josh Willingham. Who's 2 for 2. Strategy rolls a 6. And they're going to hold off. They got runners in the corners. Here's the pitch. 6-4 at the ballpark. Here's the pitch. Response 18. 18 outside of the range of the special K. 4-4. And that is a double star 4. That is a ground ball to the third base. And that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. At the end of 4, it is Florida 5, Mets 1. Ryan, Brian, and Oliver due up for the Mets. Ryan Church 1 for 1. Here's the pitch. 5-6. That is a blank. 6-3. And Ryan hits a single out there. Just falls short of Carroll. Does not get in time, and Ryan gets on base. All right, we have a hit and run strategy. So they're going to bring the infield in on this one. Here's the pitch. 6-2. That's a strikeout plus. That's a 14. That makes it a 22. That's a 1. And they struck him out. Now, do we have a steal? And he got caught stealing. 18. That is an A. He got caught stealing. So 2 outs on that. Brian Schneider out as well. 2 outs. And they got him over at second. He was just a little late taking that bag. Oliver Perez 0 for 1. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. 6-4. Possible error on a ground ball. 4-5, and that is a fly ball out there to Carroll for out number 3. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Mets. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is Jorge, Cody, and Brett due up for the Marlins. Oliver can face 3 more batters before he is tired. All right, Jorge, 0 for 2. 6-1. That's a blank. 3-2. That is a question mark 9. On a 19, that is a fly ball out there. And it's out there to right field, so Church getting the out on that. That is going to bring up Cody Ross. 1 for 2. Home run, struck out, a run, and an RBI. Here's the pitch. 2-1. That's a walk result. Cody has a 6. That is a 7 out of range. on a 1, and that is a strikeout. And that is going to bring up 2 outs. We go to Brett Carroll, 0 for 2. Now, this is Oliver's last batter before he's considered tired. Here's the pitch. 5-3. That is a blank. 5-2. And that ends the inning. That is a fly ball out there to Beltran to get that one. No runs, no, and the Marlins go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5, it is Florida 5, Mets 1. We go to the top of the 6th. It is Jose, Lewis, and David due up for the Mets. All right, here's the pitch to Jose. Andrew can face 5 more batters before he's considered tired. Here's the pitch. 5-2, strikeout. That is an 11 due to the +4. That is a 6, and they struck him out. All right, Luis Castillo, 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 4-4. That's a blank. 4-1, and that is a double star 4. That is a ground ball to the first base. He makes that play just in time, and that's going to bring up David Wright. 0 for 2, 2 outs. Top of the 6th, here's the pitch. 1-5, and that is a single to pass the pitcher, and that one got out there to side, a little bit out there to the outfield, so Miller could not make the play on that, and David Wright gets a base hit. All right, strategy roll is a 13. David Wright on first. Here's the pitch to Beltran, 0 for 1. 4-3. That is a walk result. Beltran has a 12. That's an 8. And they walk Beltran. And the Mets now have runners on first and second. 20 on the strategy day. We have a pickoff attempt. That's a 12. That is outside of the pickoff. So, Carlos Dialgo, 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Runners in scoring position. 3-2. Range play. 2-3. That is a ground ball out there to Cantu. Cantu's rating is on a 1. That's a 5. That failed. And that's going to be a single for Carlos. And David gets the hold sign, and that loads the bases. All right. Andrew Miller is now considered tired. Pitched. Strategy rolls a 9. They're going to talk to him real quick. See what they want to do. Infield staying where they are. Everyone goes back. Strategy rolls a 9. Here's the pitch. 3-2. Range play. 5-2. That's a double pass Ross. Ross's range is in a 1-3. That is a 3. And he gets it. And the Mets leave the bases loaded. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Paul, Andrew, and Hanley due up for the Mets. And that's going to do it for Oliver. They're not going to let him pitch in this inning. So the Mets are going to bring in, we have a right-left coming up. Aaron Helms. Hellman. Yeah, they're going to bring in Andrew. Well, yeah. So Andrew Hellman comes in. We've already seen him. He's pitched 1 inning, has 1 hit, allowed 1 hit, no strikeouts, no walks, no ERA so far in this game. And let's take a look at the stats as Oliver leaves the game. He pitched 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. ERA 5.40. All right. And he's done with his opening tosses. That's going to bring up Paul Hoover, the catcher. 1 for 2. 1-1 range play. 2-3. Goes over to Church. Church's rating is in a 1 to 5. That is a 4. And he makes the out. All right, we go to Andrew Miller. 0 for 2. He is the pitcher. This is probably going to be the last time up at bat for him. They are going to let him hit. All right, here's the pitch. 1-2. That is a walk plus. We had 10. That is a 10. That's a 7. And they walk him. We go to the top of the order. Hanley Ramirez, 0 for 2. Strategy rolls a 19. Infield staying at normal depth. 4-2. Strikeout plus. We had 14. That's a 21. That's a 15. And they struck him out. All right. And we add a +1 to Andrew's BR rating. That makes him now a 2. Dan Ugla comes up. He's 1 for 2. Walk and an RBI. Here's the pitch. Strategy rolls a 2. 5-4. Strikeout plus. We had 14. That's a 27. That's an 8. And they struck him out. So no runs, no hits, no errors for the Marlins. We go to the top of the 7th. At the end of 6, it's Florida 5, Mets 1. And due up for the Mets, it is Church, Brian, and Aaron. Now, Andrew is tired, so they are going to pull Andrew. And we have a left coming up. Who are they going to bring in? I think it's going to be Justin Miller. Yep. So they're going to bring in Justin Miller. They're going to bring in a right-handed pitcher for this. Justin Miller, let's take a look at his stats. 4 wins, 2 losses, no saves, 4.24 ERA, pitched 46.2 of an inning, allowed 46 hits, 43 strikeouts, and 17 walks. And Andrew Miller pitched 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Has an ERA of 1.34. Leaves the game with. All right. Justin is done with his opening tosses. Here's the pitch. 3-5. That is a wild pitch. We're going to re-roll that. 1-1. That is a walk. That's a 10-13 out of range. Ryan Church, by the way, is 2 for 2. 3-5, and that is a ground ball to Jacobs for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Brian Schneider. 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. 6-5. That is a walk. The 10, no. 10 is too high. That's an 11. I should say the 11 is too high. 5-1. Double star 4, and there's a fly ball out there to Willingham for out number 2. Now, Aaron Helm, they are sending him out there to hit. All right, they are sending him out there to hit. 2-5. That is a blank. For 3, and that is a ground ball to the second baseman. And Singh, take me out to the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Mets. Nothing across the board. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Mike, Josh, and Jorge due up. All right, let's take a look here at the box scores real quick as we head into the bottom half of the 7th inning. Florida coming on strong in that 2nd inning for 3 runs. And New York scored all first in that 2nd inning. And Florida answered back in 2 in the 3rd, and it's just been scoreless since up until now. Aaron can face one more batter before he's considered tired, so they are going to see what he can do. Here's the pitch. 4-5. Strikeout plus, we had 14. That's a 25. That's a 19. And they struck him out, and they struck Mike Jacobs out, who was 1 for 3. And they struck him out. All right. Aaron's considered tired. Josh Willingham comes up. He's 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. 2-3. A walk result. That's a 14 for Josh. That is a 20. 20 is too high. 4-6. And that is a fly ball out there to Beltran for out number 2. That's going to bring up Jorge Cantu, 0 for 3. And here's the pitch. 1-4 at the ballpark. So we're going to go to Dolphin Stadium. And that is going to be a 3-2. And that is a double star 1. That is a ground ball out there to the 3rd baseman, to David Wright, for out number 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors for the Marlins. The Mets retire them in order. After 7, it is Marlins 5, Mets 1. Jose, Lewis, and David due up for the Mets. Top of the 8th, Justin Miller can face one more batter before he's considered tired. They are going to see what he can do. He says he can do one more inning. They had a little talk with the skipper on that. He says he's good to go. We'll find out. Here's the pitch. Jose is 0 for 3, and then it's going to be a 3-5. That is a wild pitch. We're going to re-roll that. Foul ball. And then it's going to be a 5-3. That is a home run result. That's a 6. Home run is a 7. And Jose redeems himself by hitting this one out of the park. And this ball is going to the right field line. Down the line, it is out of here. Jose Reyes with a solo home run, putting the Mets up 2-5. After that, and they're all high-fiving him on his way back to the dugout. And unfortunately, that is going to do it for Justin Miller as the skipper goes out to take the ball away from Justin Miller. We have a switch right coming up. And the Marlins are going to bring in, and they're going to bring in Kevin Gregg for this. Kevin Gregg comes into the game, and Kevin has 7 wins, 8 losses, 29 saves, a 3.41 ERA, 68.2 innings pitched, allowed 51 hits, 58 strikeouts, and 33 walks. All right, and he's done with his opening tosses. No outs. Here we are at the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. 3-2. Range play at Dolphin Stadium. Lewis Wright is 0 for 3. 6-5. That's a blank. And let's see, that is a rail play. The third baseman chases a foul ball into the stands. Resolve play as a P5 range. Check for injury to the third baseman after the range play. That is a failed range. That is a 5. Cantu's range is a 1. That's a 5. And after range play, Jorge Cantu is injured and will miss the rest of this game. So he's out for the rest of this game. And that is a foul ball. So that's going to be a repitch. And Jorge Cantu is out. So that is going to be replacing the third baseman with, they're going to bring in West Helms to take over third baseman for Cantu. All right, that's going to be a repitch, so we're going to replay that. Helms is playing third now. 6-1, strikeout result. We add 4. That's an 11. That's an 8, and they struck him out. All right, that's going to bring up the third baseman, David Wright, 1 for 3. Struck with only 1 strikeout. Here's the pitch. 1-5. Home run chance. That's a 0-0 on the home run chance there. 1-5, and there's a fly ball out there to Carroll for out number 2. Carlos Beltran, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 2 walk. He walked his last 2 times up. That is a 1-1. That is a walk plus. We add 10. That's a 22. 13. And they walk Beltran again. Oh, the Mets are not happy with that, and they express their concern with the umpire on that. No one gets ejected. The umpire just giving them a warning. Carlos Delgado, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch, 2 outs. Strategy rolls are turned off at this point in the game. 1-4. Range play at Dolphin Stadium. Here's the pitch. 2-4. That goes out to Ross. Ross's range is in a 1-3. That's a 5. And it gets by him. And now we'll see if there's any more advancement here. We roll 1, so that is a 3. Lead runner advances. If roll is less than or equal to the trailing runner's BR, the trailing runner advances on the throw, and now and the Mets now have runners in scoring position, 2 outs, and Hagen, who was 1-0 for 3, they are not going to let him hit. They are going to bring in Reyes to pinch hit. So they're going to bring in, Kevin is tired. They are going to let him take this hit. 4-1. That's a walk plus. That's a 19. 14 for the walk result. No. Does not walk him. 4-6, however, that is a double star 2, and that is a fly ball out there to Carroll for out number 3. So we need a left fielder, and that is going to be, they're going to bring in Anderson to take over in left field. Second base, they are going to make some changes here. So second base is going to go to Reyes, who was just pitching. So he's going to take over at second. And that's going to do it for the Mets there. So they make some changes to the lineup. Cody and Andrew, Aaron is tired, so they are going to, at the end of that is 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Cody, Brett, and Paul due up for the Marlins. Aaron is done. They are not going to let him hit. They're not going to let Aaron pitch. We have a right coming up. And that is going to bring up Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner is going to come in to hit. He has 2 saves already in this game. 2 saves already in the replay. Has a 4.50 ERA. Pitched 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. All right, here's the pitch to Cody. Cody 1 for 3. That is a 1-4. That is a blank. That's a 5, and they struck him out. And that's going to bring up Brett Cowell. Brett Cowell 0 for 3, and they are also not going to let him. He was having a bad day today, and that's going to bring in Robert Anduino to come and pitch it for him. All right, here's the pitch. 1-5. That is a double star. That is a fly ball out to the Beltran for out number 2. Paul Hoover, the catcher, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. 6-1. Strikeout plus. We add 14. That's a 34. That's a 1. And they struck him out. All right, and we're going to check for Florida, we need a right fielder. And they're going to bring in Jeremy Hermana to take over in right field. Everyone else is going to stay. So nothing across the board for the Marlins. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 8, it is Marlins 5, Mets 2. We go to the 9th. It is Ryan, Brian, and Billy due up. But will we see some 9th inning magic? Greg is done, and then is a 3-run thing. They're going to bring in Matt Lindstrom to hopefully get the save here. We are in a safe situation. All right, Ryan Church, 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. 6-1. Strikeout 7. That's a 16, and they struck him out. All right, Brian Schneider comes up. 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. 6-3 range play. And real quick, before we resolve that range play, I know I forgot to do some stuff here. Kevin Gregg leaves the game pitching 1 inning, allowed 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And Justin Miller pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, and 1 home run. ERA of 9.0. That's where we stand right now. Matt Lindstrom, we haven't taken a look at his stats. He's pitched so far 1 1/3 inning, allowed 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. Trying to get a save here today. And here's the box score of where we stand. Mets coming back and answering 1 run in that 8th inning to give it a 3-run game. So that's how we got into the safe situation here. Range play is the result in that 6-6, and then is a ground ball to Ugla. Ugla's range is on a 1-3. That is a 4. And that got by him there. And 1 out. Runner on first. And that is going to bring up Billy Wagner, who they are not allowing to hit. And that's going to bring up Fernando Tatis to pinch hit for him. Here's the pitch. 5-1 range play. 4-2 does a double star 5. That goes to William. William, his range is in a 1-2. That's a 6 that failed, and that's a double. And Schneider gets the hold sign. It is less than 1. All right, infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch to Reyes. Reyes is 1 for 4. 5-2. Strikeout result 20. That's a 10. He's good. They don't strike him out. 6-1. That is a ground ball to Ugla. And is he going to try to score? Yes, he is. And no. Will the defense try for the auto out at first? Runner scores? No. So that is a fielder's choice. Runner on third at halfway. No change to the BR rating on runner on third. If rating on range fielder is a -1. If runner heads for home. If 1D6 higher than the BR, then out. Otherwise safe. And he is out. 3 is higher. They got him out at home on that. And that's going to advance Tatis. And on a fielder's choice, that's going to put runners on the corners. And the Mets are down to their last out. Matt is tired. Here's the pitch to Reyes. He's 0 for 1. The pitch. 4-3. And that scores Fernando. And Jose goes to third on a 4-6. He has a 4. And that's going to put runners on the corners once again. All right. And the Mets make this now a 2-run game. They're going to go out and talk to Matt real quick on the mound. He's good. Here's the pitch. 3-5. Possible error on a throw. Here's the pitch. 6-6. Question mark 8. That's a 1. That's a single. On a 19 to Ross, that's a 0. And now it becomes a 1-run game. Mets getting some of that 9th inning magic here. And the Mets take this lead down to 1. They're going to leave Beltran in. Strategy rolls a 1. Strategy has been turned back on. Here's the pitch. 3-2. Question mark on a 17. No, that is out of the range of a single. 3-6. Double star 4. Ground ball to the shortstop. Ramirez gets it. And tags, goes over to third and tags him out. And that's the ball game. The Marlins win it today. 5, and the Florida Marlins defeat the New York Mets 5-4. Final line score coming right up. What a game! And the Mets came back to score 2 in that 9th inning, giving them 4 runs. Final line score, New York Mets, 4 runs on 11 hits, and they committed 3 errors. The Marlins, 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Your winning pitcher is Andrew Miller. The losing pitcher is Oliver Perez. Matt Lindstrom gets the save. Jose Reyes, 2 home runs. Cody Ross also has 2 home runs, and Josh Willingham gets his first home run for the season. In the replay, Oliver Perez picks up the loss, pitched 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 home runs, ERA of 5.40. Andrew Miller is your winning pitcher for the Marlins. Pitched 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA of 1.34. Matt Lindstrom gets the save, pitched 1 inning, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout, ERA of 9.0. And that's going to do it for us here at Dolphin Stadium. If you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up on your way through the turnstile. And we will see you next time for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, I'm Scooney 007. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.